and getting back to your dad, because I thought that was he was one of the most interesting characters in the book, and maybe the central character outside yourself.
Yeah.
I not just his support, he comes out of the gate so hot, like he's this scary fucking guy. You guys are getting in fights, corporal punishment. We could save that for another pod. You're doing all right. I
got hurt. I wasn't injured.
Yeah. One of the coolest things was he kind of softened and showed his sentimental side and his supportive side at different points. And then, learning that he passed away 5 days into your first big movie, I wonder if you look back at it and you had him here today, which movie he'd be most proud of, or that you could show him, if you could show him one flick.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you about that, to go back to that Don't Half-Ass It. There was some serendipity in the fact that he died 5 days into my first movie, Days Confused, which turned out to be a career.
Right.
That I'm not half-assing.
Right.
So all those other fads, like I talked about earlier, skateboarding and all that stuff, he was alive for me to start what became more than a hobby. Right. That has always made me feel like, yes, all right, we had a crossover there. At least he was alive for that. Yeah. Now, the movie, I think that I see him coming up to me as a 12-year-old and going, "Hey, buddy, you seen this movie Mud? Oh, it's a good one. Let's go watch it." That's the one where he'd have been like, "It's a good one." That was his deal. "Oh, it's a good one.
Oh, yeah.
Let's check it out." I think it was Mud. Mud would be the one, I think. That's the one I see. He would have liked all of them. I miss, sharing a script with him. Because he would have loved reading a script and having an opinion, or asking him, "Hey, do you know anybody?" And you're like, "Oh yeah, this is all like Don McLaughlin." He's sort of like that. To hear his stories and hear him ham it up and say, "He reminds me of this," and to hear a different point of view on characters and stories, I think about that a lot with him. I got stories in there about my mom. While I was on the proverbial famous stage, she wanted the limelight.
Right.
All right. Dad wouldn't have wanted the limelight. Dad would have been on the front row, but he wouldn't have wanted to be absolutely in the limelight. He'd have been there as sort of a real supporter on the front row. And I do miss creatively going over things with him and hearing his opinion on stuff.
You ever think about that oyster shack? That I thought that was a really cool little tidbit there. And does it say anything about, like, this dude worked his ass off his whole life? He's got this kind of vision, like, Robbins in Shawshank, or that beach, right?
Yeah.
And you never get to that beach, but he lived a hell of a life. Does that say something about our deepest aspirations? You can still have a successful existence that's intrinsically awesome for everybody around you, but you never get that extra credit thing, and you could still have hit the ball out of the park.
But you're chasing it.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
You're chasing it. I think I think we individually as people are an aspiration. I think America is an aspiration, meaning we're always chasing, yet we never fucking arrive.
Yeah.
We never get there. America's not going to find perfect social justice. Yeah. We're not going to find the utopia we chase, but that's not the point. The point is we keep chasing it.
Right.
And hopefully there's a little evolution and a little escalation. Our better selves, our truest selves. Man, what better thing to chase? Yeah. What better thing to be an investigator of, an interrogator of, a get up every day and being like, I'm going to chase it a little more today, Right. And then we never get there. We don't have a ta-da moment. Ta-da, I made it. No, we don't have that.
And
but if we can stay in the chase.
Certainly not in our lifetime.
No, and we never reached the shack. We never actually, you get the shack. Like my dad's dream was the oyster shack on the beach. If he'd had the oyster shack on the beach, hell, I don't know. Maybe he would have been like, ta-da, I've retired. But it would have opened up new things. I don't know.
By the way, Mud, the scene I remember was the snake scene, because it reminds me of Lonesome Dove, and I hate snakes.
Yes.
Do you remember the scene in Lonesome Dove?
Hell yeah, I remember that Lonesome. I just sat my kids and mom, we watched it during quarantine. We sat there and did it over 4 nights. It was great. We just watched
that one of those, like, Dad, what the fuck? My dad, on a rainy day in Montana, we're on vacation up there. We go every summer. And he has the whole family in there. And he's like, "It's movie day, guys. I got a great movie for everybody." And this is kids spanning, 18 to 30 years old. And, there's guests in the house. And we sat there and he's like, "Yep, it's called Deer Hunter." And so we all
yes.
So we all watched Deer Hunter. And by the time Russian Roulette rolled around, I'm looking at my dad like, "What the fuck, dude? Are you?"
It is a great movie.
The whole fucking room is like, "Howie." And he's like, I forgot it was this dark. So it is a good movie. but bad movies, okay? Like, and I'm talking about things you deem bad movies, because I've had bad games, and it sucks when you are in the meat grinder, and like, it's going to last 3 more hours. You get made fun of on Twitter. You could get stiff armed like Josh Norman the other day. Like, we take our lives into our hands, our masculinity into our hands when we step onto a field. But it's not subjective as much as, like, you're sharing your art, your soul. And I know that, like, you might say, well, football, and downplay it. But what you guys do is you share your creativity and you bear your soul for people who are just consumers. Right. Have you ever been in a movie that you're like, yeah, this ain't working? Like, if I'm in a bad game, I know we're getting drug and everybody can see that. Do people talk on set and you're like, man, this thing's fucked? Like, or do you worry about that? You just have to hit send.
No, I mean, look, so I've been in movies that felt great going in, felt great in the making of it. Then all of a sudden I see the final product. I'm like, what the fuck happened? Were we not making what we thought we were?
Yeah.
Or did they go just screw it up in the editing room?
Right.
Is there a great movie on the editing room floor?
Yeah.
And I've been in the editing rooms trying to help rearrange things with studio heads, trying to fix things. Have failed at that, have helped some things out, put some Band-Aids on some situations. I've also had the other way around where I'm not sure if it's going well. I feel like I'm doing my job, but remember this is part of the reason why I wrote a book. What I'm doing, when you're on a football field, you have 0 filters. It's direct contact, it's live. What am I doing? I'm performing someone else's script, being directed by somebody else, being lensed in a camera by someone else and framed, edited by someone else before my raw expression gets to you in the context of a story. So there's 4 filters it's gone through. Now, my goal has always been, let's close those gaps. Well, that's why I ended up going off to write a book. There's 1 filter.
Yeah.
It's a written word to you. Right now, the interaction, or what you do when you used to play football, that's no filter. Stand-up comedians is the most direct form of expression.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's there. You're live. There is no re-record. There's no take 2.
Yeah.
And it's a direct, unfiltered connection.
I wanted to ask you about the industry because of COVID and the pandemic. And I know what it's doing to sports. That's a complicated deal. But, like, I miss going to the movies, man. It's one of my favorite things in life is to go to a theater and eat some candy and some popcorn, or maybe some pasta that I brought in from a restaurant. Are you okay with that? People bringing food into movies?
I'm fine as long as you don't in my ear.
Pasta's okay? It's not over the line? I've been told by some people.
Hey, man, I'll bring my homemade tuna fish salad. Oh. Now, that's not a sound thing. That's a smell thing.
Yeah,
but I'm like, forget it.
Damn, there's a hippie in here or something. So what's happening in your industry right now?
Yeah. So a lot of my peers are working.
Yeah.
They're on sets. They have what they call these little bubbles and these pods of when certain people in a crew and how many come at what certain time. They're still making movies. They're still creating content. I'm not right now.
Yeah.
I'm over here bearing down with my family and my 88-year-old mother, trying not to bump into this COVID thing. Mind you, I'm in a privileged position to be able to do that, but that's what I'm doing. Hey, so how much of right now is the new normal?
See,
a lot of it.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
I'm going to hug people when there's a vaccine. Okay. I don't care. Some people say handshakes are gone, hugs are gone. I can't live without hugging my friends or.
Well, you will, but there are millions out there that will never do that again. There are millions out there that are never going to a theater again, if there's even a theater to go to. Look, our floor has been, in our industry, has been moved beneath our feet in a real way that things are going to change. I don't know. Do films become a more of an event that's once a month in a secured area that you buy a ticket to early and you get tested and it's all set up where like a luxury event in the Cinerama Dome where you have your own sort of pod that you're watching collectively the movie. I don't know. I don't see how right now the theater business, they're just trying to keep their head above water right now.
I know.
And how do we consume it? But this has been a question even before COVID. But with how we consume our entertainment, Quibi just went down, and that was about consumption on this thing.
Right.
You got small screens, you got TVs. You don't have to plan to be there Monday night at 8 p.m. when the show's on, because you can order it whenever you want. You can stream it on Netflix. Now the question with streaming was always, wait, is streaming cannibalizing the theater experience?
Right.
In actuality, you could argue that no, it wasn't. It was actually feeding the theater experience. People that want to watch it at home, watch it at home. People like yourself, that's great. I want to go to the theater. Mm-hmm. That's where I want to consume it. Mm-hmm. So, I'm going through this now with the book. Does audio cannibalize the readership of the hard copy? Mm-hmm. Or does it say, no, it actually makes me want to go buy the hard copy? Does the hard copy make you want to buy the audio? Does one feed the other?
It's just choices, I guess.
I think that they can feed each other. I just don't know if physically coming out of this, how much of what we're doing right now with sports and the re-engagement of people is just a grand experiment that may bite us in the backside.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that I look up in a year and go, actually, I was overly cautious. I would love to be wrong about how cautious
it's always better to be overly cautious, and we're doing the same thing, and that's one thing. And you mentioned the privilege of being able to stay home and work from home and all that stuff and get to be around your family. You mentioned theaters. We were talking about, theaters going out of business. There's one ratty old theater here in Charlottesville that's long out of business. I think it's like one, they all turn into roller parks and shit like that.
Right.
You were there, bro. You came to Seaville to do the Time to Kill.
Yes.
For John, who was my baseball coach.
John. Oh, really? Grisham?
Yeah, dude. I got in trouble twice because John Grisham sent us on these baseball trips, and I would get in trouble on the trips and come home, and it's bad to piss an author and a football player off at ride the bus all the way up.
They still open? Are they holding their head above? No, done?
It's been a while, but
okay.
In general, I think they're all struggling. Is there a biopic when things get rolling again that you're like, I want to play that guy?
I don't know, man. I mean, I've been circling for years Evel Knievel.
Perfect. I think it's
gotta get that script right, because I got to know him pretty doggone well.
Really?
Yeah, and his stories. He was a badass. His stories were incredible. I spent a lot of great time with him and had a lot of late night phone calls with him as well.